What is going on, everybody? My name is Nico and welcome back to another Pokemon video. It has been a while since I've said that. I have taken a bit of a hiatus from making content to any degree, and that's just because of personal life, work stuff, all that. You know, gotta focus on myself before YouTube because, you know, I'm not making enough money to live off of from doing this. But that's beside the point. I will make a separate video talking about all of that stuff, kind of giving an update. I do plan to come back, start making content again, just at a lower quantity to what I was doing before. But it was Pokemon Day. We had our announcements. Now this is going up a day late because I work nights now, so I'm recording this after I got home from work. But we got the announcement for Gen 9. Gen 9 is here, and oh man, let me just talk about Gen 9. So first and foremost, you know, they tricked us. We genuinely thought that Pokemon had been saving Detective Pikachu 2 for the end of their Pokemon Presents, and that was not the case. It was a Gen 9 trailer, and we are getting Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, which is super exciting, really cool stuff. This game looks really great, just from the fact that it looks like it is Legends Arceus. Now, I haven't made any content covering Legends Arceus. I personally am a really big fan of how that game plays. I really enjoyed every bit of Legends Arceus. I'm still playing it quite a bit. It just didn't have a lot of competitive stuff, which is mainly what I'll be covering here on the channel here moving forward. I'll do guides and stuff still, but that's, again, beside the point. But these games really look like they drew inspiration from Legends Arceus, where it's completely open world. You're going to be seeing the Pokemon in the overworld. I hope they keep seeing the shinies in the overworld because that's a great feature. And it looks like the region is based on Spain, but it has that same art style as Legends Arceus. Maybe a bit more vibrant, a bit more color added to this game. I thought like a lot of the areas in Legends Arceus were like they picked one color palette and that was like boom, everything is that color. Like first area is all green, second area is all brown, you know, that kind of stuff. It looks like this game is going to be a lot more vibrant, and I really am looking forward to that. And I think it's going to be really fun in that regard. But the biggest thing is that, you know, this is our new, you know, VGC game. This is going to go back to the original battling system. Now, granted, they may try to incorporate some sort of gimmick. That's kind of their deal. You know, currently we still have Dynamaxing. Maybe Megas make a return in this particular game or something to that effect. But, you know, I think we will go back because for everything that I've heard, everything that I've seen, people like the battle system in Legends Arceus simply for the fact that it's single player. If this was in a competitive style game, the battling system would not work in Legends Arceus. So I think people are very much ready to go back to the traditional Pokemon battle system, and just have, you know, whatever gimmick they decide, or no gimmick. I'd rather have no gimmick personally, but you know, that is basically what we're going to be moving toward with this new game. And it does seem like some of the stuff will be changing from Legends Arceus, which is to be expected considering the fact that, you know, they were developed at a similar time. This game was being developed while Legends Arceus was being developed, so not everything, you know, they wanted to see how Legends Arceus was received before they included everything into this particular game. So it does seem like there is going to be some stuff that is changing, and then ultimately at the very end, you know, we got to see the new starter Pokemon, which I'm going to cover all that here in a second. But I want to take us over to the official Pokemon page for Scarlet and Violet and talk about, you know, some of the stuff that they have on the page, because it does give some really good information. And I think it's really cool that they're just outright saying a lot of the stuff. So I'm going to bring us over to that. Alright, so here we are on the official Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet page. It's arriving late 2022, which is very exciting. You know, this is coming this year, which was pretty much to be expected given the circumstances around Sword and Shield. You know, the last VGC format for any Pokemon game is typically the double restricted format, which is what we have in Pokemon Sword and Shield as of right now. That is ending at the end of the year. So it makes sense that this game is going to be rolling out, introducing a new competitive format, you know, so they keep the ball rolling. They are going back to the double format, and I thought, you know, a lot of people were kind of expecting them to veer away from this because they did release Legends Arceus, but I kind of like the double version format. It adds to a sense of community that I felt that PLA was really missing, so I thought that this was a really good addition. Now, I talked about wanting to discuss some of the things that were, you know, noted here because they are super important. Like, for example, right here, it says open world. Now, this is something that a lot of people thought PLA was going to be. You know, everybody, you know, this is the Breath of the Wild of Pokemon, whatever, you know, that everybody was talking about for Legends Arceus, and it turned into being more of a Monster Hunter like experience, which is fine in its own right. This expressly states open world, whereas PLA never actually said it was an open world game. So this really excites me, and it really makes me hope that, you know, we get similar things to what we got with the ride Pokemon in PLA. I want to see more wordier type stuff, Braviary, that stuff was so flawless. It works so well in that game, and I want to see that continued here because it does seem to have a little bit of verticality. If you look at some of the screenshots here, it's going to be nice to have that ability to get around. Now, I will say the trailer looks a little rough around the edges, but so did PLA at the time it was announced. So to me, it's not a concern. I think the Pokemon models look very, very good. Like a Magnemite in the trailer looks phenomenal. Seviper looks very good. You see the scales on Seviper. A lot of the Pokemon look so detailed, and that's what's important. To me, all the environments are just background noise, and the Pokemon are what actually matter. So that the fact that they look as good as they do, like, it's very, very exciting just for that. Now, it does also mention, various towns blend seamlessly into the wilderness with no borders. You'll be able to see Pokemon in the region skies, in the seas, in the forests, in the streets, all over. You'll be able to experience the true joy of the Pokemon series. This is what really is interesting here. Battling against wild Pokemon in order to catch them. Now, it seems that, like, the sneaking up on Pokemon and throwing a Pokeball at them, that is going to be exclusive to Legends. Now, this is what I was talking about, in fact, that some stuff was left out. Now, it's unclear if that will ever make a move into the mainline games, because it was a feature that a lot of people really liked, but at the same time, a lot of the Pokeballs, I don't know if they'd work as effectively as, if they work quite the same in that scenario where they work in the battling system, but I don't know if they'd work in the Legends Arceus catching style. There was only really 3 types of Pokeballs if you think about it in that game, and there would be not really a point to bringing all of, like, the Apricorn balls and everything else that works in Pokemon into that style of game. So to me, this kind of makes sense for a mainline game and leave that special catching method to the Legends games, which I think would make the 2 games feel very different and very fantastic, simply because you have 2 styles of Pokemon games moving forward. You have the main Pokemon games that are going to be, the traditional style, but then you also have the PLA that is going to give you a different feel. It's not the same thing with a different coat of paint. I really like that moving forward personally. And like I mentioned, they did actually show off the starter Pokemon, and this is very early. I was very surprised to see the starter Pokemon. So we're getting Sprigatito, I think that's how you say it, Fuecoco, and then Quaxley for the fire, grass, and water type starter Pokemon. And I think they all look very good. They're all very basic designs, which I like because that leaves a lot of room for growth and change, and I think that's really, really good for these particular Pokemon. And honestly, I like all their designs. I think, like, it just, there's so much room for them to do cool things with the evolutions. Now, I think personally that this is going to be a game that has a lower amount of new Pokemon, and I'm not saying, like, different forms and stuff, because they don't really count regional forms as new Pokemon. They count them as old Pokemon. But I'm saying, like, in terms of new regional Pokemon, you're looking at, like I'm trying to think, like your Corviknights of your region, your Rookies, your Corvisquire, Corviknight, that, brand new Pokemon that is specific to that region. I feel like that is going to be the lowest it's ever been with this particular game, just because that's kind of been the trend moving forward. They like using older Pokemon now, which I'm perfectly fine with. We already got 1,000 of these things. I prefer at this point bringing in a smaller number of new Pokemon and then continuing on. I think that's just a better method, and I think that's what they're going to continue with moving forward, and then continue adding, like, regionals and stuff like that. That is really what it seems like is going to be the trend moving forward. But yes, here are the starters. They look fantastic. I love it. Fuecoco really won me over. They did show the new characters, and this is easily the weirdest looking Pokemon character I think I've ever seen. I just don't think it looks like any Pokemon character we've ever seen before. Like, it just doesn't look right. I'm sure we'll be able to change its clothing. We were able to do it in Legends Arceus. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to do it in this game. But it just doesn't look like a normal Pokemon avatar, which I think is really, really weird. But yeah, that's really all there is to show off here on the main Pokemon page regarding Scarlet and Violet, because we just haven't gotten a ton of information. We got some gameplay, but outside of that, we didn't even see a battle. So I think this game is still, they're putting the finishing touches on a lot of the stuff so they can show it in the next trailer. But very exciting to know that this is coming so soon after PLA. That's really all there is to it in regards to Pokemon Violet and Scarlet. I'm very excited for these games because it looks like a drastic change from what we had in Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield really felt like it was a step up from 3DS game, but it definitely felt like the old games, the old 3DS games. And this feels like the step into, like, this is the official new console Pokemon game moving forward. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm excited about a lot of the stuff they're bringing in from PLA. I think all of that looks super cool, and I'm really keen on seeing what the competitive stuff is like. But there's going to be more stuff on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet here, so make sure you are subscribed if you found the video entertaining and helpful. Also, you know, more competitive stuff is going to be coming. Like I said, it's going to be mainly what we're going to be covering here up until the release of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So it's going to be a lot of fun talking about all that stuff, talking about, you know, Pokemon in general. There will be more guides, there will be stuff like that coming in the future, but like I said at the start of the video, all that stuff is going to be coming at a smaller quantity than prior, because I just don't have the time that I used to have. So content's back, we're going to be doing it again, but it's just at a lesser scale. But that is it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.